G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. So I was just out pottering around with the Aquaponics, cleaning out filters and stuff, and I can see, can you see that there? So when I've cleaned the filters I haven't set it up properly and we've got an overflow. The water's not running out the outlet pipe, so I'll have to fix that. It's really quite simple. I just take the top off the standpipe. And there you go, you can see it's all running now, so that problem will stop fairly quickly. Now you'll notice that my overflow didn't cut in, which has actually triggered me to a different problem, which is the reason I'm out here to show you, because it's a huge issue. That leg there, and I think you can actually even tell in the video, is no longer straight. So it's coming, the whole garden bed is coming towards us now. And I'll show you the other side as well. You can see, look at that post, how it now slopes away from the quail cage. That's really only happened last night. We've had over 6 inches of rain here in the last few days, which I suspect has made the ground sloppy, and then with the weight of everything that's going on, the whole thing's moving pretty bloody quickly actually. On this side I can see the screws are actually pulling out of that upright, and you can see how far away the top's coming. Yeah, that's not good. So this whole bed's going to have to be completely and utterly disassembled and rebuilt properly. Jesus, it's got a sag on it. I might actually turn the whole thing off, to be honest. So that'll be a big drama, and that'll probably keep me off YouTube for the best part of a week at least, I reckon. So you know where I'll be, but I thought I might also mention another little issue just as I'm talking about that and going to turn the filter off that runs this big boy. Alright, so the pump on this side that runs out into the big bed, it's now off, and I'm going to drain that completely dry. Now luckily I've got these little constant flow beds on top, so that allows me to keep a pump going, which will let the fish keep going, which is a good thing. Certainly, I hope you can see it. I'm certainly glad that I put that bloody overflow in the tank, because otherwise I would have lost that again, which would have been a disaster. So that big bed was built, I don't know, at least 3 years ago. Didn't have much of a clue. I've never pretended to be a builder. Never pretended to be particularly handy, in fact. So I can't say that I particularly knew what I was doing, but I can say I'll certainly do a better job this time, because over the last couple of years I have learned a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. So that'll help us out. I'll try and save some of the Kangkong. I'm not so worried about the rest, to be honest. It's not going to be a big issue. But yeah, so what a catastrophe. Now the other little issue I'll mention is I had a community strike put against my name for hosting dangerous videos. Now said dangerous video was in fact a button mushroom kit that years ago I tried to grow. So I appealed that decision. They took it down and gave me a strike, so I appealed that because I thought, what the hell could be dangerous about that? It's a kit that you can buy in any country. Well, the appeal came back and said no, they've upheld their decision. So I am quite perplexed. They said, oh, thanks for understanding. Well, actually I don't understand. I don't understand in the slightest what was dangerous about that. Like I say, it's a commercial kit that I reckon you could buy in pretty much any country in the world. I followed the instructions on the kit pretty precisely. So I don't know, that sort of shook my confidence a bit. I was planning on doing another oyster mushroom video, but I've obviously stopped that idea at the moment until I can work out why I'm such a dangerous cad. So yeah, between the bed and my kind of dismay currently with YouTube, geez, I can see the slope on some of those legs now, bloody hell. I might be gone for a week or two, folks, until I get some of this stuff sorted out. Anyway, let's not be too glum about the world. Pile of green material, mostly mint and mint root, bit of kangkong on top, some tomato that I'll just throw away. I got a fair decent pile of shallots out of there, so I'm happy with that at least. See, the chickens have got a ton of kangkong. They've been pigging out on that. You can see the bed's starting to get pretty empty. There's a few shallots in the back and some of that spinachy type stuff. I can't remember the name of that. I got it from a mate, Matt. Thanks, Matt. So I'm going to save one of them at least. I might try and pot the other one up. I'll show you what I have moved. There's a couple of little bits of kangkong in there with root. There was a couple of basils that were looking pretty straggly that I didn't even know were in the big bed. Some chives. That's mostly it. That noise you can hear is probably thunder. Looks like we're going to get another week of wet weather, so it's probably a good time to shut that big bed down before things went utterly out of control. So that's looking like it's pretty well. There's still bits of mint in there, but that'll be that'll be slow and steady wins the race, I reckon. So I'm about to start and pull balls, those clay balls out of there and throw them into containers. I'll probably post at this point in time. Because I might even stop. It's gonna, you can't hear the thunder, but there's a lot of it around. I know it's going to be a bloody wet week. So anyway, hopefully I'll get it dismembered pretty quickly. So I've had a crack at saving at least one of most things. I put both those little spinach variants in. There's a bit of mint in there. There's some kangkong in there with root. A few shallots, the lettuces that were in there, bloody straggly poor buggers. They're almost impossible to grow in summer over here. They're just bolting, you can see that. They're just long and lanky. Well, it's late this afternoon. I've been sitting out here thinking, sipping on a homemade beer. You know, I think I'm going to take this opportunity to rebuild the entire backyard. So what I think I'll do is I'll sit down over the next few days and redesign things, because it's a good opportunity to solve a whole bunch of current problems. I'm going to find a way to keep rats out of there completely, since I've got to rebuild the bloody thing anyway, why not? And I'm going to redesign the chicken house somehow with a similar plan. So what I'll do, this bit with all the bush and the big tree, that'll be their run. So I'm actually going to take the wire roof off that. I'll leave the plastic roof there for shelter when it rains, but the bit at the back that's covered in leaves, that'll come off, because all it does is catch bloody leaves. And I might run an enclosure in front of that little low rock wall with the chicken on it, you can see. And that way that can be sealed as well. So I'll move the feeder, and I'll move the chicken house itself to a better location, so that they've got some extra run, but then they've got an area that can be completely and utterly secured. And also we'll run on to an aquaponics redesign that's completely and utterly secured. And I think what I'm currently thinking about is running the aquaponics bed perpendicular to this. So instead of that way, run it that way. And let me show you, that would actually put it over top of the fish tank that you can see at the back with the little low grow beds on it. That'd put it over the top of that at one end, so she could actually drain straight back in without the need for a whole lot of plumbing. That gets better as I think about it, because then what I could do is move the chicken house probably in an area in front, like the chicken house I mean, where they live, that bit of the house, I could probably put in the front here somewhere, which gets me away from rock walls. That way the rats won't be able to get in. So I might try and do a plan up in the next couple of days, and I'll also put that up on a video if I can come up with it. We'll see what happens, yeah. So instead of being utterly dismayed by what potentially looked like could well be a bloody disaster, I'll take it as an opportunity and we'll do a major rebuild, eh? we might try and build this one properly. Andy, what do you reckon? Alright folks, from disaster to opportunity. You can't keep... Oh, I'm not a good man. I'm a community cad who engages in activities that endanger the safety of the community, apparently. See ya.